In the quiet heart of the countryside, where the wind whispers secrets through fields of gold, lived a farmer named Briggs. His companion was Buster, a loyal dog whose heart was as vast as the land they tended. Their days were a peaceful rhythm of sunrises and hard work, a simple life filled with mutual affection. But one evening, as dusk painted the sky in shades of purple and orange, a strange sound broke the tranquility. A long, sorrowful howl echoed from the direction of the old, forgotten barn at the edge of the property. Briggs frowned, a flicker of concern in his eyes. Buster was never one for aimless noise. He called out, "Buster, here, boy!" But the only reply was another heart-wrenching howl that seemed to carry the weight of the world. Grabbing his lantern, Briggs stepped out into the cool night air. The moon was a silver sliver in the sky, casting long, dancing shadows that played tricks on the eyes. He followed the sound, his boots crunching on the gravel path leading to the dilapidated barn, a structure he hadn't entered in years. As he got closer, the howling grew louder, more insistent. It wasn't the sound of a dog chasing a rabbit or warning of a predator. It was a sound of profound loneliness, a lament that chilled Briggs to the bone. He reached the heavy wooden doors of the barn. They groaned in protest as he pushed them open, revealing a cavernous space thick with the scent of old hay and dust. And there, in a single beam of moonlight filtering through a crack in the roof, sat Buster. His head was thrown back, his body trembling as he let out another mournful cry. But what truly baffled Briggs was what the dog was howling at. There was nothing. Just an empty, dusty corner of the barn. "Buster, what is it, boy? What's gotten into you?" Briggs asked, his voice soft. Buster stopped howling and turned, his eyes filled with a deep, inexplicable sadness. He whined, nudging Briggs' hand before looking back at the empty space. This strange ritual continued for the next several nights. Every evening, just as the last light of day faded, Buster would slip away to the old barn and begin his solemn serenade to an unseen audience. Briggs was bewildered. He checked the barn for any sign of animals, raccoons, foxes, even a stray cat, but found nothing. The corner was completely empty. He started to worry. Was Buster sick? Was he losing his mind? The vet found nothing wrong with him, declaring Buster to be in perfect health. The mystery only deepened, wrapping itself around Briggs's quiet life like a stubborn fog. He knew he had to understand. There had to be a reason. Determined to solve the puzzle, Briggs decided to spend a night in the barn with Buster. He brought a warm blanket and a thermos of hot coffee, settling down in the hay not far from the mysterious corner. As twilight descended, Buster patted in, just as he had every other night. He gave Briggs a brief, soft lick on the hand, a silent acknowledgement, before taking his position. Then, as the darkness became complete, he began to howl. Sitting there in the quiet dark, listening to his dog's cries, Briggs felt a profound sense of melancholy wash over him. The howls weren't just noise. They were a story, a song of loss. As the hours crept by, Briggs's mind drifted back through the years. This barn, it hadn't always been forgotten. It was once the heart of the farm, filled with life and laughter. And then a memory, sharp and sudden, pierced through the haze of time. It was a memory of his wife, Eleanor, who had passed away years ago. She had loved this barn. It was her sanctuary, the place she came to paint. And her favorite spot was that very corner. She would sit there for hours on a small wooden stool, capturing the play of light and shadow on her canvas, with a small, wriggling puppy at her feet. A puppy she had named Buster. The realization hit Briggs like a physical blow. His breath caught in his throat. Eleanor had been the one to bring Buster home. The two had been inseparable from the start. She had spent countless hours in this exact spot, her gentle voice a constant murmur as she worked, Buster curled up on an old blanket beside her. After she was gone, the pain had been too great. Briggs had closed up the barn, unable to face the memories it held. He had locked away that part of his life. And in doing so, he had forgotten just how deep the bond between his wife and their dog had been. Buster hadn't forgotten. He never did. Briggs looked at his loyal friend, who had now quieted down and was resting his head on his paws, his gaze still fixed on the empty corner. He wasn't howling at nothing. He was calling for her. In his own way, he was visiting her, remembering her, just as Briggs had tried so hard not to. A wave of emotion, a mixture of grief and profound love, washed over Briggs. Tears welled in his eyes and streamed down his weathered cheeks. He had thought he was the only one who was still grieving, but his faithful companion had been carrying the same torch of memory all along, visiting their shared past in the quiet of the night. Slowly, Briggs crawled over to Buster and wrapped his arms around the dog's warm body. Buster leaned into the embrace, letting out a soft sigh. "You miss her too, don't you, boy?" Briggs whispered, his voice thick with emotion. "I'm so sorry, I forgot." They sat there together for a long time, man and dog, two souls united in a shared love for the one they had lost. The silence of the barn was no longer empty. It was filled with unspoken understanding and the comforting presence of a shared memory. The nightly howls were not a sign of madness, but an act of remembrance, a testament to a love that time could not erase. From that night on, things changed. Briggs didn't lock up the barn again. Instead, he cleaned it out. He repaired the leaky roof and cleared the dusty cobwebs. He brought Eleanor's old easel out of storage and set it up in the corner, right where it used to be. He even found one of her unfinished paintings and placed it there, a silent tribute to her spirit. And every evening, he and Buster would go to the barn together. They wouldn't stay all night, but they would sit for a while in the quiet, watching the sunset paint the sky through the open doors. The howling stopped. Buster no longer needed to cry out into the darkness. He was no longer alone in his grief. The old barn, once a symbol of loss and forgotten pain, became a place of peace and connection. It was a place where a farmer and his dog could sit together and remember the woman they both loved. The story of Farmer Briggs and Buster became a local legend, a gentle reminder that love and loyalty transcend words, and that sometimes the deepest bonds are the ones that are felt, not seen. Their shared ritual became a quiet testament to the fact that those we lose are never truly gone, as long as we keep their memory alive in our hearts. And in that quiet corner of an old barn, the love of a woman, a man, and a dog lived on forever. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more content just like this.